Okay, check 1 2. Check 1 2. We are live. Let's actually throw up that. Move that out of the way. Why? No. You're right here. Okay. Live stream will start soon. Make sure everything is getting on. Hello, YouTube. We're live from Shorty's, if you can't tell. Actually, it says Shorty's right there.
Still, it doesn't feel like Shorty's with an air conditioner.
Yeah. We will get everything fired up here, and we will go live on the radio in about 8 minutes. We're getting the last of this all sorted and set up. If you want to jump in over here and have everybody scoot around.
Mike Hurst came by, Dale.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
They, they're doing something at City Hall this morning with
Yeah.
something with some
Let's see.
kind of state award or something. Somebody's going to come by when they're done. Their meeting is at 10.
Oh, good.
And then they're going to come by. It's something to do with tourists, something. I don't know. Well, I think somebody from the state is here or something like that.
All right. Volume is looks to be low on YouTube, but we're sounding good on the station. So. Okay. Check the earphones. Yeah, whoever. This one's probably easier for someone to jump in and out of. So. Yeah, they're all good.
Test one, test. I'm gonna.
Oh, the AC?
They start at City Hall at 11, maybe 1. Yeah. But it's gonna probably go all day. I have a feeling that Monday you're gonna have everybody's gonna jump into the city council after they see what happened.
things I hold on too tight.
Hey, Jenny, you want to be on the air? Get over here. I got the biggest body now. Short of Jenny.
Looks like I saw some machinery moving around over by the Don Patricio Bridge this morning.
Yeah.
They may be getting ready to get busy over there. Take that dam out.
Was there machinery moving?
It was on the other side,
Okay.
but it was out by the road. It wasn't back there on Nemo Court. So I don't know. It looked to me like it was the same machine that took out the sand plug over at Commodore's. Come on, Edwin.
Right. Yeah, jump on in. Let's get everybody in here.
You on musician's time?
Yeah.
Get a musician's rooster crows at the crack of noon.
Yeah, I got up early for this one.
Yeah. Stay up all night. What time do you finish at Doc's?
I was out there by 10.
How was the crowd?
Yeah, it was pretty good out there.
It seems like
And
they stay full, man.
side address mic, so tuck right into the little logo thing right there.
Logo thing.
Yep.
Logo thing.
Looking into the Movo. Test 1 2 3.
There you go.
Testing.
All right.
1 2 3.
Here's a and hello to everybody watching on YouTube. We're live right now and
Drop the set out of your ring.
throwing radios around. Here when we get the handoff from the station, and we will take this active. All right. And off in the distance, you can see the slow, inevitable rise of the island moon. We are live here from our Shorties studio. Dale Rankin, Edwin Meyer, Lee Harper. We've got Ronnie Narmore and Billy Snipes joining me for our awesome Shorties edition. It's fun. We're on the road, getting a little action, enjoying kind of spending some time with our friends up here in Port A. Dale, how's everything looking?
Well, it seems like fitting that we come to Port Aransas for the last tourist weekend of the season before Labor Day. This is the kids are going back to
Yeah.
school next week, so
Well,
I noticed the
used
traffic.
they used to go back on Labor Day. Like Labor Day was the end of summer, and now it's like now we're just going to chew
Yeah.
into April.
So this
Or
will be.
April, August.
I could tell by the traffic this morning that it's going to be a heavy weekend because it's people are. I just had talked to some friends down from San Antonio. The kids are going back to school, so it's going to be a big weekend. We already got one car in the ditch I saw on the way coming in.
Yeah.
So on the
Really?
weekend, somebody got off to an early start. But we have we're following Bob Jones this morning. He had the mayor on. They've got some news going on down at City Hall today. Got the hearing starting here in a little while, so we'll see how that all goes. But I think we're celebrating what's been a pretty good tourist season, don't you think, Edwin? It's been a good summer.
Yeah, no, a lot of people came out, and like you were saying, the August thing. We used to get 2 really strong weeks and kind of a mediocre week,
Yeah.
and now we just get a mediocre week.
Really?
And, it's everything's been pushed back so much, and
And you've got Labor Day's on the 7th. It's second weekend, I guess, or first weekend in September, but it's kind of late in the season this year.
it's about as late as it can be.
And
Yeah.
and so we've got
So how long? We used to have a 100-day season, right? That was what we
yeah,
judged.
I think
that,
now it's probably more like 90.
that
something
metric
or
has
less.
changed.
Yeah, and I would imagine one of the things, well, you guys probably see it here. Edwin, you're owner of Shorty's and former city council person here in Port Aransas. How long have you been in Port Aransas now?
Oh, over 30 years.
So long enough to see trends come and go. How has this tourist season been?
I mean, it's been very good. I mean, each year, there's more people here. There's clearly more houses.
Yeah.
It's gotten more expensive.
It's
So
more
some of the,
expensive to live.
people's habits have changed some. If you go to H-E-B on a Friday night, the sandwich section looks like a Russian grocery store. They've rated it pretty good, so they're making sandwiches at the house.
Right. Have you seen? Well, you've been a restaurant owner here, restaurant bar owner here at Shorty's and Giggity's and 2 or 3 places. Has the short-term rental business affected the restaurant business?
Well, it's kind of busier during the summer,
Yeah.
but the people who own the short-term rentals has kind of changed a little. It used to be, somebody bought a house down here because they came down here a lot, and they said, well, we'll just buy a house, and then maybe we'll retire or whatever.
Right.
And in the off season, they'd come down and they'd, hey, we're here to fix the shutters and stuff like that.
Right.
Well, today's owners will call somebody to fix the shutters. They don't come down and fix them themselves.
Right.
And so off season's a little more challenging. Not as many people live here. They come from somewhere else, and so you just have to adapt to those type of.
Right. Well, now you moved. Shorty's has been open since the 50s, something like that.
1946.
46. And you moved it. This is their second year, this location, or third year?
We're going into our 3rd year.
Third year. You're right on the main drag now.
It's Chris Jordan called it a courthouse property because when you show up in a town, the best piece of property usually has the courthouse on it.
Right. Well, I remember I was here right after Harvey, and I think you guys might have been the first business to get back open after Harvey.
We were opened up 8 days. If it hadn't been for the bay muck on the floor, we would have opened up in 7 days.
I was a looter.
Yeah.
A looter?
Yeah, Billy and the Looters.
Attaboy, Billy.
Yeah, I was in the band over here during the curfew. They had a curfew, and I had to haul ass out of here and get out of here, and I was the last one to leave, and there's a light there, and so I called Edwin up and I said, "Hey, Edwin, I got your light." And he said, "You looter." Looter. There's a battery operated light,
Were you living here when Harvey hit?
Yes.
Did your house get wiped out?
Yes, I owned it for 3 weeks. It's a fifth wheel.
Oh man.
I bought it August 1st, 2017.
Well, that was a smart move. You got it just in time, man. Why didn't you roll it out of town?
No, I didn't. I rolled it to the curb.
So Harvey was.
Hey, talking about the patterns of the tourist seasons, the last few years it hadn't slowed down. It's been year round. I mean, we've been busy. What do you think, Lee?
I mean, that's what I've seen. It's definitely a lot more busy during the summer, but once you get past that, it's plenty busy enough in the off season too.
Well, is this a Shipyard second year? You guys have been
This
here?
is our 3rd season.
Third. Well, the Shipyard has been it's kind of a different animal for Port Aransas. You've got a little bit more capacity, and you're booking a little bit different bands. You got Gary P. Nunn over there tonight, right?
Yes, sir. We are fortunate enough to have Gary P. this evening. Casey Chestnut's going to be opening up for him. It's going to be a
That'll be
fantastic
a great show. That's cool, man.
Be an
Do you-
Bellamy
awesome
Brothers
show.
last week. Bellamy Brothers last week.
We had
right?
Bellamy Brothers last week.
How was the crowd for that?
It was fantastic.
Yeah?
Yes, we loaded them in. It was plenty of people.
What's the capacity there at the SIP yard? You can get, what, 1,000 people?
Yes, easily.
Something like that?
Adults will get 1,000, not to mention the youngsters running around.
Does your crowd, it's mostly a tourist crowd, I would assume?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Well, these bigger shows do definitely draw plenty of the locals out.
So,
To see a Gary P or see the Bellamy Brothers, there was lots of locals.
so when you say tourist crowd, mostly drive-ins, I would assume, San Antonio, Houston,
Yes, sir.
Austin. Okay.
From all over the state, it seems.
Really?
Yes.
What's your capacity over there?
We don't exactly have a capacity, or at least if we do, I haven't hit it yet.
Yeah. They did. You just go until
big.
until the cops tell you to stop. That's
until-
like
yeah.
Well, let's put it this way: how many people did the Bellamy Brothers draw?
Somewhere between 800 and 1,000.
It's big.
That's a good size.
Yeah,
That'll work.
This summer has been.
Yeah.
We've been very blessed. We've been averaging somewhere between 9 and 1,100 every Friday and Saturday
Well,
night.
you've worked at a lot of the different places here, Lee. How have things changed since Hurricane Harvey came through? It looks like we had a lot of stages, and then we had no stages for a while,
That's
and
there-
now we're kind of coming back.
the live music is definitely coming back on the island. There was a lull for a little while. The main difference I notice in tourism and the tourist business is the demographic has changed drastically.
Really?
There's not as many 25 to 30-year-olds unless they have children. Lots more families
Yeah.
coming to stay in the Airbnbs, things of that nature.
I guess that's changed. That's probably a result of the short-term rental market.
that
I would
and just
imagine.
cost.
Yeah,
As
well,
expensive as things have gotten out on this island, it changes the demographic of the people that are actually coming out to spend the night. We still get plenty of day trippers that come out for just the afternoon, but then they head back to San Antonio or Corpus or
Can your
one of the
staff?
surrounding
Can your
areas.
staff? Does your staff live here?
Some of them do. Some of them travel in, but none of them too terribly far. I mean, Flower Bluff is probably the furthest
Yeah.
any of my people travel.
Yeah, I can tell by the traffic. I came by this morning, just turning up the Island Road, and I noticed it was already crowded at 10 o'clock as I was coming north. So, were you on the council, Edwin, when short-term rentals were voted in?
Well, they were never implicitly voted in. There were zoning changes that were made a long time ago, and so that's kind of been in the existence. Here in Port Aransas, you can't build up. They have height restrictions, and they also, in order to go up, you have to go out. You have to give setback, and so that really prevented anybody from going up. And so instead of building, and I almost don't like that word short-term rental.
Yeah.
Because these are all really like detached hotel rooms. Instead of the hotel going up, the hotel went out. And so, instead of having, some density, we put it, they spread out all over the island. And so I kind of wish they would have gone up as opposed to going out.
Well, you have a four-story height restriction, isn't that right? 40
In
feet,
some
60 feet?
areas, you have an overlay. I think it's 35 feet, so about 3 stories.
And then you have an entertainment district where you have to shut down at midnight or something like that.
You don't have to shut down at
You have to-
midnight, but you have to be within a certain noise range after midnight.
Right.
And so
I'm
you try
curious,
to
Dale.
manage it.
What's the story on Padre with tourism and
I tell you, we've had
Short-term rentals?
We've seen our short-term rentals are for the most part on the east side of SPID. We don't. Our neighborhoods. We didn't want them there, and so we were able to stop that. We do have a lot of multifamily buildings going in, condos and that sort of thing. That you can do those short-term rental. The main difference I've seen in traffic this year, and you've probably seen it, Billy, when you're playing. We're getting a late afternoon crowd on Friday, Saturday, and Sunday that's going over to the seawall that we never really had before because we didn't have there wasn't a lot to do over there. Now we've got 3 or 4 restaurant bars over there, and you're seeing the traffic when it all used to be headed back into town after 4 o'clock. Now you're seeing traffic coming out onto the island at that time of day. They're going to the Sandbox and to the Anchor and Brewster Street and Salty Dolphin. We have there's something for them to do. And it's sort of like you were saying here, during the week, our beaches are full. You go down to Whitecap Beach and there's people there. It's not packed like on the weekend, but they're full.
Yeah, and you can tell once the schools are out, it's just a considerably different amount of people. But we'll still have weekends that are going to be packed going into October. Especially once the weather gets better, people are out for more concerts, and then once the fall concerts and everything fire up, then it should be, you kind of get back into that pattern. But we're seeing the rise of the weekend beachers.
Yeah.
I think.
Day trippers.
Yeah,
we have a lot
with the
of
rise
those.
of beach parking passes, but we're going to get to that right after we get back from our little break. About 30 seconds, and we're going to get this. We've got Edwin Meyer, Lee Harper, Ronnie Narmore, Billy Snipes, who you'll hear playing here in a
Live
little
from
bit,
the
and
shorties.
Dale Rankin. My name is Jacob Boggs. We're going to take a quick break. Island Moon Live will return.
Is that the AC over there? Is that what that is?
Yeah, that's nice.
A couple
That's
different
like
spots.
the one
That's
you
that's a
got.
window, or that's a temp unit. I got 2 of those over there, but I just kept running out because,
I brought Ronnie one.
Take the minute.
Out the window.
oh, it's supposed to be out the window.
A dryer vent.
Sally.
Yes. Jump right in.
Well, what do you want me
Here.
Jacob.
Good to see you. Sally.
All right, Billy, you want to play us back in?
What's that? Okay.
Tell you what, Sally, grab the headphones off of that. Detangle everything.
There we go. All right. Ba-ba-ba-bum.
It's nice and cool in here.
Right?
Yeah, it's
Here we go.
This isn't short.
This is a song about a lovely painting by Noel Stevenson. Talking about the Texas surfer girl, chasing waves and shooting that curl. She looks pretty good in a designer bikini, but underneath it all, she's a true wahine. Texas surfer girl. Back in August 2017, she caught the swell of a local hurricane. Took the falls like you've never seen. Left a rash where there was a bikini. Texas surfer girl. Texas surfer girl. On the day that she was shaped, the artist wrote a note right across the blank. Too many words to put into this song. What it meant was Porter Ranch is strong. Porter Ranch is strong. Porter Ranch is strong.
That is
Talking about that.
Billy Snipes, ladies and gentlemen.
Texas surfer girl.
A true Wahine.
Welcome back to Island Moon Live. We are here at Shorty's on the road, our normal house. We usually broadcast from our Waterline studio at Doc's Seafood and Steaks. Special shout out to Edwin here and all our friends at Shorty's. We're playing around in Port Aransas.
We're at Port Aransas' oldest and friendliest.
There you go. Excellent. Sally Palmer from UTMSI
Correct.
joins
UT Marine
us.
Science Center.
Excellent. Excellent.
So-
So, Billy, when we were setting everything up here, you were talking about the story behind that song. I mentioned it was one of the random ones that I play
Yeah.
as bumper music because I love the song.
Oh,
But
thanks.
what's the history
The
on
story
that?
behind that song is Noelle Stevenson is an artist, and her and Steve Stevenson used to have Diamond Island down there next to Stingrays and DeGaff, and they have St. Eve's Noel now in Rockport. But anyway, I was at a Market Days playing a show, and Noelle had her painting of this lady in a bikini 50 yards from me, and I'm looking over that 50 yards, and I go, for 2 hours, I'm singing from that painting. I said, Noelle, that's got to be my next album cover. So it became my next album cover. But the story behind that painting is when she was halfway done with it, and in August of 2017, we all had to evacuate, and it was too big for her to take on the evacuation. So when she came back, it had floated across the room. It has mold on it in a certain place, and so that's where the rash where there was a bikini comes from. But also, she had a passage on there on the unfinished part. And there's too many words to put in the song, but what it meant was Port Aransas strong.
That's cool, man.
Well, Port Aransas has come back differently. That slogan came after Harvey. It's come back differently, but it has come back.
It's strong.
Really, it's a different town. And one of the anchors here in Port Aransas is the Marine Science Center. It's about time we had somebody on from over there. We haven't had you guys come in. We did talk a few weeks ago. We had somebody on the show we're talking about sharks, and the subject of the boat came up.
Right.
That you guys, the Marine Science Center is about to get a research vessel, right?
Yes, it's going to be the first one that Texas has had in, I don't know, decades. So we had to decommission our Longhorn back in the early 90s, and so we're really excited about this new
What kind of
vessel.
a boat is it gonna? What does it look like?
It's very similar to the Captain Murchison, which is a Texas Parks and Wildlife game warden vessel. So it's a twin hull catamaran. It's built from All American Marine, based out of Washington State.
Okay.
And since it's a twin hull catamaran, it also has an innovation where it can, when it's up at speed, it can lift higher in the water, so its fuel consumption is much lower,
Yeah.
which means that we can go out for longer periods of time. So we can go out for 2 weeks at a time. We
Really?
can go way offshore. We can have a crew of up to 16 scientists, including the captain and
Well, it sounds
the
like
mates.
a pretty
So-
good sized boat.
yeah, and it's built to our specifications. So the science lab inside has all the bells and whistles, and yeah, we're really excited about it.
What kind of research, in particular, for those unfamiliar with the Marine Science Institute, what kind of specialty work do you guys do? What kind of research?
So we do everything. We like to say everything from the tropics to the poles. So most of our scientists have work that's based here in Texas in the Gulf, and then they also have work all around the globe. And then we also do research from plankton, those small little crabs
Right.
and zoea you see on SpongeBob, all the way up to the real big fish and global type stuff. So we really span the whole realm of marine science.
So
if
you
will.
have students working on their PhDs.
Yes, so we're primarily a graduate institution. So we're a little bit different than A&M Corpus because we don't really have undergrads. We do have them for one semester, but most of the year we have our graduate students. So we're a smaller, more research-focused institution. We are a department of the main campus, so we're all University of Texas employees. And so we operate as a Marine Science Institute, but also the Department of Marine Science.
So is it the graduate degree that they get? Is it from UT?
UT Austin,
Is
yes.
okay. Interesting.
Yeah, and so we have PhDs and master students, and right now we have the biggest class we've ever had, and we have about 45 students.
Really? Mm-hmm. How many How many faculty?
Faculty fluctuates, but we're right about 16. Although we just have 2 new faculty that showed up 2 days ago. So
Really? Well, you're
so-
doing some building over there too. I saw. It looks like housing, student housing, maybe.
Yes. So after Harvey, Harvey's a timestamp for almost everything at the university because we replaced pretty much every single roof, most of the windows, and but with that we renovated all of our facilities. So we had about close to $75 to $100 million worth of damage. 10 million of that was probably just instruments alone. But we, as part of that, we were repairing our student housing. So all along Beach Street, on your way to the
Right.
Port Arendis Jetty, you see some new buildings, and those are our long-term student housing. So that's like graduate students and postdoctoral researchers. And then we also built a new dormitory, and that serves primarily our undergraduates that come in the spring, but also K through 12. So we have lots of field trip groups that come in, mostly from like the Hill Country region, but we do have a few local groups.
And you do
too.
research over there with various species of fish, right? You had tanks with redfish.
Yes, so we have one big our biggest group of laboratories is right by the jetty. That's the Channel View side. But then we also have an area on Port Street, which is kind of near the jetty crossing, and that's where we have our Fisheries and Mariculture Lab. So that's where a lot of the big fish are stored. We do a ton of research on red drum is kind of like our lab rat,
Right.
if you will, redfish. And we've been doing Connie Arnold and Joan Holt were actually the first to learn how to spawn redfish in captivity. And so they essentially wrote the recipe, if you will, to how to do that. And then that got passed off to things like Texas Parks and Wildlife that do all the restocking.
So that led to the hatcheries. It allowed them to. go
Yes,
into
so
the
all
hatcheries
of that, the science behind it, then gets passed off to Texas Parks and Wildlife for the
Do
hatcheries.
you do offshore research? I guess you will more when you have a boat, obviously.
We're
but-
ramping up for that. So in the last 20 years or so that I've been there, it's been really focused on the bays and the coast and the estuaries, but we're expanding upon into the near shore. So I was just at the marina, and they were designating a giant buoy that's like a fishing aggregating device that the Chamber of Commerce is doing.
Right.
And so they're going to put that buoy out to bring in big game fish, but we're also putting out some much smaller buoys, the size of this table, or like like a tire. They're a little bit bigger than that. But
Right.
those buoys are going to be set offshore, and they're going to measure temperature, salinity, wave height, which will be really important for ships and any oil spill events and stuff like that. And then we also have a few acoustic receivers out there that will be able to hear fish
Really?
drumming or spawning.
So will people be able to find that online?
Yeah, so eventually we'll get it up online. We actually already online. So we have a research pier that's at, we call it our main campus.
Yeah.
And that research pier is, there's a bunch of stuff online that you can go to our website, utmsi.utexas.edu, and you can see the weather and the water quality in real time.
I know a lot of people, the surfers in particular, use the offshore buoys to see what's coming at them. So maybe that's something that the surfers can look at water temperature or something like that.
Oh, definitely. Yes.
I had Jay Gardner wrote a thing this week. We've had the cold water upwelling, and it's kind of gone away on the beach, but you go offshore a little ways, and the water temperature drops.
I'm ready for the blue water to come in.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're headed to that time of the season.
Those times are coming.
When the temperature starts to cool off a little bit, we still have warm water. When we get back, I want to talk about how the institute has changed over the years. You guys have expanded, I know. I've been over there a few times for events when you were adding things.
Yes, a lot more, and yes, a lot more coming. We'll say that. Island Moon Live will return. Everybody hold fast.
Any chance the
All right.
coming to play the exhibition games?
Fix that back.
Or Matthew McConaughey.
My buddy says, "Where's my favorite bartender, Jenny?"
I don't know, maybe.
Yes, Jenny running around. And Ted Mandel says hello from Denver.
He's up there in the Mile High City now. Well, we're still trying to get the Ted Mandel Causeway built, but It looks like it's on life support at this point. As soon as Ted left town, the Causeway kind of followed him out of town, I think.
I know. That was a bummer.
I did see. I've been watching every time I go down SPID down, and we look over there at Lake Padre and see if they're taking the sand plug out. And I saw some machinery. I don't know what's going on.
Hopefully they'll get that thing open pretty soon.
I've noticed that people are coming under the Commodore's Bridge. Everybody's got to go check out the new canal.
So a student from UTMSI has been taking care of the tank here.
Oh, really?
10 years, yeah, probably 12 or 13 years. So
Really?
we get so when they get a new student, or one of the students, whoever was cleaning it,
Want to play us
leaves,
back in?
they recruit a new student to come and take over.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It's going to be a jam-packed weekend here this weekend.
Yeah.
It's going to be a no left turn weekend for sure.
Yeah.
Even on our end of the island.
Well, we'll talk about this when we get back, once we fire back in. But I'm curious to see how far the summers are pushing into the fall now.
Well, you know, I always tell my friends at Hill Country, come in April or October.
Here we go.
Those are the best. Hotels are a little cheaper.
Well, now I want a wife who can do it all. Domestic baby really answers the call. She can be the hook and keep me loving the bride. Two-step on a Saturday night. I want my Swiss Army wife. She sets up the camp much better than me while I break off that limbs off that old oak tree. She packs up the cooler with everything we need. She carries her own pocket knife. I want my Swiss Army wife. Yeah, she can make love in the evening and chop wood at sunrise. Feed me apples and berries and whoop up about you that homemade wine. I want my utility girl, one that knows every trick in the world. I want to spend my days and nights with my Swiss Army wife.
That's right. Billy Snipes playing us back in live here at Shorty's in Port Aransas. Nice little.
Playing at Bronze tonight?
What's that?
Are you playing at Bronze tonight?
Bronze tonight, yes, sir.
You got a house gig at Doc's every Wednesday, right?
Wednesday, that's right. Yeah. Well, I see y'all all the time there. Saw
Yeah.
your dogs there yesterday.
Well, we
Yes.
have to after we get the moon off to the printer. We have to have a post moon mortem.
a
So
pre-show meeting
Yeah.
and
That-
figure out
at least
what
that's
we're
what
going to
we
do
call
on
it.
this crazy program. But before when we were at break, I just kind of want to throw this out to the group. Billy Snipes, Sally Palmer. Yes, Sally Palmer. Just want to make sure you get it right. Sally Palmer. We got Lee Harper and Edwin Meyer. My name is Jacob Boggs and Dale Rankin joining us. How far into fall does the kind of the summer push now with you guys, with like crowds on the weekends, the big shows? I know fall usually once the weather turns, a big kind of you get bigger artists out, but how is it now in Port A?
As far as the nightlife,
Well,
and,
everything like
yeah, well, it's a lot of activity, man. It's a
Yeah.
lot of activity. You know, I live across the ferry now, and coming across the ferry, I just avoid it. I just go around. I
Yeah.
mean,
Really?
I've gotten where I go around. I thought, hey, I'm sneaking in.
Yeah,
I mean, I get to the top of that bridge, man. It's like boom.
Yeah.
It was the same
I've
line.
noticed if the,
Well, we're-
if the
we're here-
weather stays, if the weather holds and it continues to be sunny and bright outside, we'll see plenty of people on the weekends.
Well, we're here at Shorty's. I guess we don't call it the new location anymore since you've been here 3 years, right?
Yeah.
But it was quite a sight seeing this thing go down the street on the back of a truck a few years ago. You guys picked it up, and I think there were still a couple of customers that just sat at the bar through the move, didn't they?
Well, I wrote it on down. I sent a copy of it moving down the road to a friend of mine in New Orleans, and he says that's the most boss float ever.
absolutely.
So Shorty was originally, it was named after the lady who started it, right?
Correct.
And then
Gladys Fowler.
her family had it for many years.
Yes, and so it's got a long history, and there's a lot of people who've been through here. Shorty's has a relationship with the state of Texas and people beyond that.
How did the hats start? We're sitting here under I don't know how many thousands of hats.
So
How did that begin? Does anyone know?
I was told Miss Rose pulled a hat off a customer that she was irritated with and stapled it up in the corner.
Oh,
and
okay.
That just kind of kept going and going and going.
Well, Miss Rose kicked my dog, Riley P. Dog, out of here one time, and so he left and went down and put his paws up on the outside window, and was watching the bartender for the rest of the night after he got banned.
I've done that.
Yeah. Well, I was one time years ago. I was working at Channel 3, and someone called me and said there's a new fire marshal who had come into Shorty's, and this was in 2000, I guess, and said you got to take those hats down. The hats have got to go. It's a fire hazard. So I called a friend of mine over at the fire department in the fire marshal's office, and it just kind of went away. Nobody ever said anything after that. I think it was just like somebody told him, "Kid, you're new to town. Don't do anything stupid." And that was kind of the end of it.
Yeah, we've got some good graces down here sometimes, and we put fire retardant on them every year, and so
Well, you built the outside. You expanded your stage outside here recently.
we did this spring. We down in the flats area, we couldn't do a whole lot. We didn't have a lot of flexibility, and building a bigger deck wasn't an option out there. And so this year I made before we had a roped off area and you had two different levels, and it didn't really mesh very well. And so made the decision to expand that deck out to where it was already roped off. And now we can have a much bigger crowd out there. We can do a little more with our music. We have a nice stage out there. And, it's a good time. And it's the weather, the wind's out of the right direction, so it's always a nice breeze out there.
Have you noticed? Do you get a lot of the Winter Texan crowd in here as well?
We get a mix of everybody, and you'll see a couple of them start coming in, early November. They really get going after Christmas because they do their Christmas stuff with the family, and then after that they're coming in droves.
We've kind of seen the. It's not that the Winter Texans have gotten older; it's just the rest of us have caught up, and now it's our contemporaries that we're starting to see come in. You see, do you play? How many places you play out here, Billy? You move around a lot, right?
Yeah, I play Cinnamon Shore. I play Sunflower. I play the Gaff. Often I play at Shorty's, and Ronnie gets a hold of me for various other things here in Port Aransas.
Do you play outside of town much?
Yeah, I play up in Canyon Lake in Bernie. I've got a regular residency up in Bernie every other month in a place called Salvador Dobbs, and working on it. Keep on trying to expand.
Yeah.
Just gotta keep booking gigs.
Just got to stay busy.
Lee gets calls from me all the time. Book me.
Well, now, Lee,
The weather's got to be right.
I used to do that a lot. I used to book you a lot, Billy.
Lee,
I still call him though.
didn't the city of Port Aransas did a concert series at the Shipyard last year, didn't they?
Yes,
they
sir.
sponsored
Yeah.
some shows.
Yeah, we're going to be continuing that this year with in the month of October for Beachtoberfest.
Trying to bring people in the shoulder season.
Yes, sir. We're going to be featuring all tribute bands this October.
Really?
So,
That's
yes.
popular all of a sudden. I've
I can do a
noticed
pretty
that.
good Jimmy Buffett tribute, by the way. Just saying.
Which one of the Coral Reefers are you?
Can't beat them. Can't top them.
Well, we had one of the Coral Reefers that comes through town
Yeah,
once a year.
Skikes.
Keith Sykes.
Keith Sykes,
He wrote
yeah.
he wrote several Jimmy Buffett songs, and he comes down and he used to hole up out at the lighthouse, and I didn't see him this year. I don't know where he stayed, but he comes down here and drops out of sight and writes songs. And he used to play at the studio when that series was going on over there.
Third Coast.
Yeah, Third Coast, and that just kind of went away, unfortunately. But we're headed back into the shoulder season. We were talking about that earlier. That's kind of the hotel, motel people, the hot tax. They're always pushing to get people here through April and October, which is the best time to be down here anyway, really.
And the schools on the island fire up when?
24th.
The 24th here?
On Seashore and Flower Bluff are the 12th, which is a Wednesday.
Yeah.
They start in the middle of the week. They give the kids they let them dip their toe in for 3 days, and they send them home for the
Yeah.
weekend.
Nice smell. And when are the grad students back at UTMSI?
They're here all year round.
They're
I mean,
really- yeah.
I mean, they're adults. I mean,
Concept
Yeah.
project, yeah.
Well,
Yeah,
they've
yeah,
already
yeah.
got undergraduate degrees, so so they're typically here 2 or 3 years.
yeah, our master students are here about 2.5, 3 years. But our PhD students are anywhere from 5 to 6.
And what's a typical PhD topic for study?
It really depends on their laboratory and what they're doing. So our most recent PhD student was working on lots of different fish, but mostly like red drum and other fish, and she was looking at PFAS effects on fish. So PFAS is that forever chemical that you've been hearing about.
Right.
And so she's a toxicologist by trade, and so she was looking at how that impacted red drum, and then they also use like a minnow, a sheep's head minnow.
What's the effect on fish?
So it reduces their health really, and in different ways in different fish. So it doesn't hurt the red drum as much as others, but red drum are really hardy. You know, that's a fish that can go in almost fresh water to salty water. I mean, they're just they're super hardy fish in general, but like other fish like flounder are pretty sensitive to almost everything, and so it's a little bit variable
down there
depending
on the
your
bottom.
species. Yeah.
Do you guys do a lot of work with the port or regarding the ship channel or anything like that?
Yeah, we work with the port intermittently, depending on what they need from us. And so, like, we have an instrument out on our pier that's measuring current in 3 different dimensions, and so they use that data from us. And then
Different depths?
different depths. So it's a acoustic Doppler profiler, so it can measure it at all different dimensions. And so they use stuff like that from us as well.
So it's just basically you have the PhD program, and then the students may get a commission or whatever you want to, however you want to call it, to study a particular topic.
Yeah, typically how it works is like the faculty member will write a big proposal, and so these proposals are anywhere from 100,000 to 10 million. You know, sometimes we have some big ones, and that they'll write in that proposal research for any number of graduate students and or postdoctoral fellows. So those are people that already have their PhDs.
Okay.
And so and then they write in like the tuition and salary support for those students.
Huh. So does your support, so you said you're part of the UT Austin campus, so your funding comes through directly through Austin?
So our funding, we have 3 big streams. We get funding from the state legislature because we're a non-formula funded item. We get a little bit of funding from the university, from like their tuition and fees. But then the big bulk of it comes from grants. So each faculty member is raising kind of their own money through grants.
I see. What about the boat? Where's the funding for that coming
That's from the state legislature,
from? Okay.
from Chairman Todd Hunter.
Oh,
in
yeah.
Senator Hinojosa.
That was done. He started on that a couple of sessions back, and then the causeway came up, and some of the money went to that, and now I guess it's back. The causeway kind of stalled out, so you got a boat.
We're a lot cheaper than the causeway, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
Well, it seems like I remember the Longhorn. I was on that boat several times, and it would go out. It would stay out all overnight, right?
Oh yeah, this vessel's you can stay out for weeks at a time.
Are there other institutes like yourself around the Gulf that you work with?
Yeah, we work with all the Texas institutes and all the ones across the Gulf as well. So since our vessel is it takes a couple years to build. It's a new construction.
Yeah.
And but we want to get started early because we're interested in coastal research and getting some feet on the ground or feet on the water, if you will. And so we hired a boat out of Louisiana. So we did a big giant cruise last December, and we've got another one coming up in October.
Oh, okay. So the boat comes here.
Yeah, so they bring the ship down here,
Oh, I
and
didn't
then
know
we
that.
have it for a couple weeks, and then it goes back to wherever
When
they
will
have
the
it.
new one be here?
The new one, they'll do sea trials up in Washington in the spring, and then they'll ship it down via the Panama Canal
Yeah.
They put it on our freighter and then bring it down, and then we have to do a little bit more sea trials here, and then early summer is what we're thinking.
Next year. Wow.
Yeah, soon. And we have to build, we have to build a vessel ops building as well. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it, hiring captains, all kinds of stuff.
So people will see it docked over along the ship channel.
yes, it's in the same berth as the Longhorn used to be. That's where it'll be.
Well, you guys, the pier got knocked down during Hurricane Harvey, didn't it?
Yeah, I got smushed. We had a big giant drag reel ship that came loose from its moorings and then went on San Jose Island, and then the tide shifted like that night, and then it just floated over and
Knocked down the pier.
I've got some aerials.
smithereens, man.
I got some aerials from that. I was doing a bunch of shooting for kind of Associated Press and various insurance companies of kind of just a bunch of the different areas. And Fisherman's Wharf was wrecked, and
Yeah.
the rig
Pollyanna.
that was out in the
I was
middle
just
of
gonna
the
say,
pier.
yeah.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I stumbled across some of those photos a little while ago, and I was like, oh man, maybe I should share these. And I was like, no, maybe
Yeah.
people don't
Still
want
too
bad
new.
memories.
Fresh.
like, yeah, like
The Pollyanna got stuck against the wharf over there, and I watched them.
Yeah.
Spent most of a day trying to pull it off with boats, and it wasn't moving. And I remember the shock of driving into Port Aransas the day after that storm.
when you could find, they had to get all the grass off the road.
Boats in the street,
was-
and
yeah.
it
What a
was
sight.
yeah, it was. You could see where the eye crossed over the island about halfway up. You could really tell where the eye wall hit.
It was wild, but like Port Aransas, it came back strong. So we're gonna take a quick break. Hang on, Island Moon Live. We'll return.
You want me to bring you in? I got one.
All right.
10 years. It's coming up.
Chesapeake.
We've also got a big open house coming up in October.
Okay, we'll get to that.
Sure. Okay. Thank you. I'll make sure you get it back this time.
I really need it.
So most people don't know this time of year you can get hotels for under $100 in Port Aransas. It's just crazy. And
Yeah.
like I go to Houston, I try to get a decent hotel and it's $125.
Yeah.
But here I can get one for $75.
Even this time, even right now.
Right now, I bet you.
Really?
I bet you there's 10 hotels tonight under $100.
I had friends that lived on the island. They'd always go down to South Padre every December and just go
that's
go
where
on
we go.
vacation and party down there.
Nobody's there.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so nice.
It was
Not
super
far.
cheap. They had every bar and restaurant to themselves.
I mean, I've had a weekend trip to Mansfield on my calendar for a long time, and I haven't made it. But I hear there's a lot of construction going on down there. People are building houses.
Yeah.
I don't know if there's any, probably restaurants and that sort of thing too. I just haven't been down there.
I've had a few bars to myself.
Yeah.
So I was
Yeah.
wrong.
Well,
There's 9 hotels tonight under $100.
900.
Really?
Wow.
that's odd. Why is that?
Well, the chamber focused so much on families and stuff. They're not really. I think it
Yeah.
would be good to go after some of these service industry workers and couples that 35 years old, come down, have a quick trip, come down for 2 days. And
They don't need a house.
They don't need a house, and it's changed a lot over the last 10 or 15 years.
Well, I'm kind of that way now when I travel. I think more short-term rentals. Unless I just roll into town and know where to stay, then I'll go to a hotel. But if I'm booking ahead of time, I usually don't check hotels. I book a short-term rental somewhere. You can get them in usually in a part of town where you can walk. If you're in Austin or San Antonio, you get downtown.
I had some friends 10 years ago, 12 years ago, made like about almost 50 grand just from renting their house out. They lived in the RV in the side drive. Okay, coming back.
You could probably do that. Sleep in your car.
On the island, across the ferry, I like to wake up in the morning barefoot and set free, and walk along the beach to listen to the sea. Go breathe the salty air and hear the seagulls sing, and then put on my kicks and take a walk along the jetty on the island, across the ferry. Port Aransas, across the ferry. Sometimes it's Charlie's pasture and breakfast that's on Juan's, or down to Robert's Point. Sometimes it takes so long to wait upon the ferry for our reward, to watch the dolphins play in the big old tanker's wake on the island, across the ferry.
Billy Snipes, ladies and gentlemen, playing us back in here at Shorty's, hanging out with Edwin, the owner, Dale Rankin, editor-publisher of the Island Moon, Sally Palmer with UTMSI. We've got Lee Harper with the Sipyard. My name is Jacob Oggs. Again, Billy Snipes, thanks for playing us in, man. Good to have you. We were talking about kind of the return of Port Aransas after Harvey. But, man, it's funny. The more you spend time around here, the more you talk to people who've either lived down here or grew up here. And everyone has their old stories that will never come to pass again, like going to see shows at Third Coast or turkey bowling at the back porch,
Turkey boiling at the back porch. Well,
Yeah.
Billy and I and Ronnie were at a memorial a couple of weeks ago for our friend Paul Fain, who passed away recently, and he had one of the more iconic music venues around here at the old Tarpon Ice House just across the street over here. And it was a place where musicians, he had live music just about 7 nights a week there. A lot of musicians that's where they got their start.
Yep. Me included. Yeah.
Really?
Ewell Jackson and I opened for Ponty Bone there once.
Really? Bonnie, he's the
My big claim to fame.
accordion guy.
Yeah.
So I think I would say that we're starting to see a little more live music down on the North Padre end of the island. We've got a few more venues there now. Where do you play there besides Doc's?
Doc's is my only venue there. I
Is
just kind of stay at home there.
What about in town? Is there
I do nothing in Corpus Christi.
really
I
too much material on the island?
I got the thing is about that. I got to where I was playing when I first got started after the Tarpon Ice House, and got me going. My first gig after the Tarpon Ice House was right here at Shorty's, and Edwin had just got it, taken it over, I think, and we got me in there, and I started moving around, and I played every venue every night of the week in Port Aransas.
Really?
Finally, I thought it was a great deal because of rotation. If you got a local crowd every night, they get tired of you. I mean, it's not that they get tired of you, but it's just
Sure.
I could see them tomorrow or something like that, but it was a
Right.
tourist rotation. But then even the tourists got tired of me. So that's when I started branching out, and then I got on the road, and Harvey was a big push on that too. I got out, I evacuated, I got up there, and I got some gigs while I was
Right.
away, and I got on the road, and I just kind of fell into this routine, and it's
Well, that's one of the years ago in San Antonio. Mo Bandy was moving to the country guy. He was moving to Branson, and we asked him, Mo, why you going to Branson? You're a Texas guy, and he said, if I go up there, I can put my socks in the drawers, like you're talking about. You don't have to travel you stay put, and the audience travels through.
yeah.
And I know tonight, I'm sure you'll hear Gary P. has an old Larry Joe song about Shorty's. It's one of the local favorites. I may have to come up and catch that show. I haven't seen Gary P. in a while. I used to catch him at the back porch a lot.
Yeah, he's going to put on a great show tonight. The last one we had back in June was fantastic. And with Casey Chestnut opening for him tonight, it should be even a little more special.
So is Casey Chestnut a four-piece?
No, he's going to be playing an acoustic opening.
Solo?
Yeah, solo. But
What time will he start?
everybody at 8 o'clock.
8 o'clock.
And Gary Peel going on about 9:30.
So you guys you're doing a little little bit later show. Then you shut it down at midnight,
Yes, sir.
and then everybody comes to Shorty's.
That's right. Including us sometimes.
Well, it seems like you catch some synergy when you get more live music places. It's more reason for people to come out here or come down here from the coast. I remember back in years ago, you guys probably remember the old Tortuga Flats over where Virginia's is now.
Yep.
That and the Salty Dog were the only places here that were doing live music at the time. And then
I've played there.
after the hurricane came through, everything kind of changed. And now we're seeing things are coming back a little bit.
They moved Tortuga Flats too. They moved it just like they did Shorty's.
Well,
yeah.
that's right. I forgot about that.
And Port A is great because you can walk everywhere. So you can go to
Yeah.
you can bar hop if you really want to and do it in
Yeah.
a safe manner. So.
By golf cart. We have on our end of the island. We on Padre end. We have golf carts, but it's kind of not the same as Port Aransas, because you can drive them. You can't drive on the main street on
It's-
SPID.
It's not part of the culture. That's the thing.
Yeah.
Port Aransas has a golf cart culture because it's on the speed limit on the weekends is 20 because
Yeah.
that's as fast as you can go with the tourists in the golf cart in front of you. So you might as well just get a golf cart and enjoy it as well. It's-
Absolutely.
Island time.
Yeah.
So what do you, Sally? You said you got an event coming up over at the
Yeah.
Marine Science
So
Center.
we have an open house type of event. It's called Island Science Day. It's on Saturday, October the 3rd. It's free. It's going to happen from about 9:30 to 3 o'clock, and we're going to have boat tours and tours of the lab, lots of demonstrations.
Okay.
It's going to be a really cool event. Family friendly,
You guys
all
have
the things.
you guys have a statue over there by.
Over.
We
yeah.
do. We do.
I think I was there when that was dedicated.
We
some
have
years
3
ago.
actually.
Really?
Yeah. So we have the big tarpon that is at the center of our patent center, which is our main visitor center, and then we have a couple smaller a sailfish and a marlin on our monument signs as well.
cool.
So
So-
Kent is one of our advisory council members.
Okay.
Nice. So if people want to learn more about UTMSI, where can they go?
They should go to our website, utmsi.utexas.edu, or www. Of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, come down to Island Science Day. It's really cool. We also have an adult-themed wine and cheese reception the night before to kick it off on October the 2nd. And that's at 5:30. So yeah, just come on out and check us out.
Awesome. And you have a visitor center there. What can people expect when they
Right.
come check out
So
the
we actually have
visitor
two
center?
visitor centers. We have one here in Port Aransas, and that's the Patent Center. And then we have a Bay Education Center in Rockport. And both of those are open Tuesday through Saturday from 10 to 4 p.m. They're free. And the one out here in Port A, we've got lots of aquariums and exhibits for kids, young and old alike. And it's just a really nice place to come out, and it's great in the summer season because it's air conditioned.
Yeah.
We're not. Sometimes when it rains, people come in,
Right.
but noon to 3 is perfect.
We're sitting in air conditioning in Shorty's
I'm
right
still
now.
getting
It
used
kinda
to air
blow- I know,
conditioning
Coming
in
out
Shorty's.
on the
It's blowing my mind, bro.
It's still taking some getting used to.
Yeah.
How did the Science Center get started here?
So we were designated by the legislatures. Actually, the ledge wanted to put it in Galveston. So they were originally this is back in the 40s. So they gave $400 to put it in Galveston, and the hurricane came and knocked it, whatever was there started down. But then they selected Port Aransas, and that was in 1941. But we really got up. That was also during World War II. So we really got up and rolling in the mid 40s, and then we started expanding from there. We had a real big expansion of facilities in the 60s, but we've been here since 1940.
Did the university buy the land and donate the land?
Yes. Well, there were several different donations that occurred of land parcels. So the original director was E.J. Lund. He found what we now know as a red tide. That's why he was doing research down here in Port A. And he donated a lot of his land, and then the university bought some as well.
Oh, okay.
Outstanding. Well, excellent. We're going to take our quick radio break and let you guys listen to some news. We will return from 1 to 2 on 1440 KEYS and 98.7 FM. Keep it on Island Time.
So we've got, we'll do one more, and then we'll get Ronnie and talk about what's coming up this weekend, I guess. And then we'll do one. We want to do one segment on Padre at the end. Or when we do that first, and then we'll get Ronnie in.
Okay, what are you thinking?
Let's do one more
Okay.
with this to kick off the top of the hour,
Cool.
and then we'll start.
Do you
We'll
want
get
me to
Billy
keep
to
bringing
play us
him in?
back in.
Bring you in?
Yeah, we can.
If
We're
you say- if
so
you-
now that we're not live, we're just gonna record the second
Well,
hour.
yeah, I know, but it's going to
So-
be live in the.
And it'll play at
one,
one.
Yeah, yeah. So it'll play at once.
So you can
listen
actually
to the radio
listen
or
to
the
it
app.
when you leave.
Yeah,
What do you want me to do?
Hang out for one more.
yeah. Stick around for first segment's 11 minutes. So yeah,
Okay.
we'll get everything set.
I'll
Make
get-
sure we're connected, and we'll rock it. We'll take a quick break.
We're all kind of on our own time once we get off the live.
Right.
Yeah.
Your name again?
Sally.
Sally?
Yes. Good to see you.
Yeah.
Come here.
Registration for Legends. Legends, the big ass fishing tournament. There's my favorite person. If you're tired, you stop, shop at Circle K.
You gonna play something? You gonna play? Why don't you sit there, take my Yeah, just sit there. I'll listen. I'll sit down. He'll talk to you and all that. Yeah. I'll play. Yeah, I mean, there's, I was just talking about how people get tired of it. I was just talking on the radio about how people play it. Most Billy Simmons. I didn't mention any of that. Of course, no.
Hi, baby. What can I do for you? Sorry, take your time. Mackenzie, I'm fine. Thank you. How you doing, my love? Good.
throw on any kind of bumper music or anything. All right. Audio test. Audio test.
I worked there for a time. They had to put some plumbing in behind the bar, and the foundation was a foot of concrete.
Island run, that sure gets my motor running. I really didn't have myself a car back then, but that I didn't stop me none. Now gasoline is hard for me to come by now, but that don't take away my Texas Island run. Padre Island or Mustang, I'm Texas Island country. Mansfield cut to St. Joe, the 361 is with the 830. Baffin Bay on out to Rockport, Surfside to Galveston. I'm Texas Island country. The 830 is with the 361. Hell, I remember we were on 512, but we just got a little too big. Not too big to go out fishing. Out by another rig. Well, I bounced my ass off that sandbar. I had tar between my toes. I watched the sunrise atop a sand dune. That's right, I'm one of those. Padre Island or Mustang, I'm Texas Island country. Mansfield cut to St. Joe.
He's like, just take me to jail. I've been up for 2 days, yada, yada, yada. So he fingers the shrimper for the rest of it. So they catch him, and they know he ain't a drug dealer or anything. They're like, hey, we need to get the cocaine. And he goes, well, I buried the rest on St. Joe. So my Coast Guard buddies, this is like when I first moved here too, and I was living next door to the guys. They rented a house off campus so they could go drinking or whatever, come back and not get in trouble. And so they're in full gear, and they take the boat across, and they get off on St. Joe, and they start walking. Now, mind you, this is August, and there is no wind, and it's like 8 o'clock in the morning. Now, they're walking and walking and walking. Well, he failed to tell them that he had a bicycle. And he rode 7 miles down the island and buried that cocaine. So they had to walk 7 miles in full gear in August. And they got down there and they were like, fuck this, we're getting the goddamn helicopter to come get us.
That's too funny.
That was Port Aransas back then. So
Yeah.
just crazy shit.
That's funny.
Oh man, that's Sharky's back in the day. That was.
Yep.
Oh, Sharkies. That's what I was trying to think when y'all were talking about bars. I was like, what is the one on 361?
Yeah.
Well, see, back then, when I was first here, it was down in the flats, and I lived on the other. I lived on the other side of the Coast Guard station. Well, back then, you just walked through the Coast Guard station to go home, and then, you know, of course, after 9/11, that all changed. But you know, everything was kind of free will in here on here. You know, I mean, I can remember being at Sharky's on July the 4th. Claude, the former mayor, rode his red, white, and blue Harley up the back ramp at Sharky's onto the dance floor and proceeded to smoke the whole joint out, and then just kind of casually rode right out the back door. And I was like, did this just really happen?
Remember Glow Stick guy?
Yeah, Dancing Bear.
Yep.
I don't know what his real name was. I feel like Glow Stick.
I've got him on Facebook, and I can tell you his real name, but I can't remember it. But
That's too funny.
he used to work at Port Royal. I don't know if he still works there or not.
Dale,
Yeah.
good to go? Yeah.
People messaging me all the time.
Dale! Dale! All right.
think I tuned that thing to an open D. It's hard to play. For me.
All right. Up and running there. Got that one down. 11 minutes coming at you. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right. And we are back. Welcome back to Island Moon Live. Welcome aboard, I should say. We're up in Port Aransas hanging out at Shorty's with Edwin Meyer from Shorty's, Sally Palmer from UTMSI, our buddy Lee Harper from the SIP Yard, Dill Rankin. My name is Jacob Oggs, and there's been a Ty Dietz sighting as well. I'm sure he's going to join us here in a little bit. We wanted to keep you on for another segment, Sally, kind of get a little more information from UTMSI and all the good work you guys are doing out here. Mainly a graduate student facility.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
And a boat. That's the big news.
Yeah, we have
Yes.
a new boat coming.
How long is it? It's got to be it's kind of a watershed moment, isn't it, to have an offshore boat like that?
Yeah, I mean, we haven't had one in, when was Longhorn designated? Like 20 years or so.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're super excited and super pumped about it.
So we're here for those who missed the first hour. We are coming to you live from Shorty's here on the main drag in Port Aransas in celebration of the last big tourist weekend before Labor Day, before the kids go back to school. We get the tourist invasion, and you got Gary P. Nunn playing tonight at the SIP Yard, and you have live music here of course, at Shorty's. And so we're here. We're coming to you live from under the caps
Yes.
here in Shorty's. It's been on our travel list of things to do, and we welcome Ty Dietz in. You have a gig here of Sunday nights, right?
Yeah, every Sunday it's been ongoing for how long now, Edwin? It's a while. I lost count. Long time, going on
10 years or something.
decade, yeah. So and it's my favorite gig,
Yeah.
hands down favorite.
You got a
gig.
bigger
I look
stage
forward
out
to it.
there now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So
And
let
it's
me
working out
ask
good.
you this: over the 10 years, how has the crowd changed? Is it the same tourists that you see literally year after year? Like you see, the lobsters, people that show up forget to put on
Get
sunscreen.
the lobster tans.
Oh yeah.
Right.
Well, it's a lot of the exact, not just the exact same type of people, but the exact same people.
Yeah.
So,
oh, that's funny. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a lot of people that I say we have with Shorty's and my show have gained a following, and there's people that plan their vacation around, Sunday nights at Shorty's, Jim
Yeah.
Dugan and
Yeah.
the Dugan Dietz, day. So
That's fun, man. Well, and during COVID, I know there were a bunch of people that really branched out into doing kind of online stuff like Facebook Lives and things like that to try and cope through. But how long, once that all kind of happened, how long did it take to really just get back and everybody said, man, that's it, I don't care, I just want to get out?
it was I don't know. It's been, through Harvey and COVID,
Yeah.
with Edwin and Shorty's, he always hit the ground running as soon as everything,
Yeah.
and it was.
Once they said go, he was like, we already started.
And we would just we were playing. I
That's
remember
cool.
after Harvey, there was one beacon of light and music, and it was Shorty's place, the old location.
Yeah.
And running off a generator, and I know Ray Summy and his guys played, and then
Yeah.
the next night I think I played, and it was pretty cool.
The hardest working man in show business.
Ray
Ray Summy.
Yeah.
He does sound. He says he's the rock and roll Marines, the first one in, the last one out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So where else you play some down on North Padre end as well, right?
Yeah, I haven't been playing too much over there. There's a new place called Honey's that I've been
Yeah.
playing.
They have a nice little stage in there.
Yeah, it's set up. It's set up, and I really enjoy it. Actually, Dee just called me today, and we booked. Probably a dozen dates. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I was in there last night.
yeah. And their food is good.
Yes,
food is
they're
good.
They stay pretty busy. They got a nice little stage out back. I was talking to Lee when we were on break. Whitecap North Padre Island NPI group is putting a live music venue in there.
Oh, really?
It's going to put a stage in an outdoor area that they have.
cool.
And I'm looking at trying to do a concert series there with the Moon that I did a few years ago.
Yeah.
Because we need something like that. We need another venue.
Yeah, for sure.
So before we let you go, Sally, for those who weren't here the first hour, tell us about the event that you have coming up.
That's right. So we have Island Science Day. It's Saturday, October the 3rd, and so it's essentially an open house of the Marine Science Institute. We have everything's free, so boat tours and demonstrations, and we'll walk out on the pier, and I think there's a squid painting where you can paint with squid ink, face painting, all kinds of stuff.
Squid. Where do you get squid ink? You just get it from a squid?
Yep.
You just gotta scare them at the right time, and it's
Yeah, no.
art. Yeah.
Well, you can get even a dead squid will produce ink, so we use dead squid actually.
Well, that
If you
sounds
need
like
some
that.
squid ink, I got a guy.
This is Port Aransas. You can get all kinds of creative stuff.
Meet him out behind Shorty's.
Yeah.
So the big news, though, for those who didn't hear, you guys are getting a research boat coming in
We have
by
a
next
research
summer.
vessel coming in. It's close to an 80-foot research vessel, twin hun catamaran that can go offshore for anywhere like a day to 2 weeks at a time.
I think you should have a press cruise for when the boat gets here.
Well, we will. We're gonna have a big ribbon cutting. We're
Yeah.
trying to get the actual longhorn down, not just
Bevo
Bevo.
on a boat.
Well, technically Bevo is the mascot.
Yes.
Yeah.
But we're trying to get the cow. So, I'm like, I'll take either. Just give me
Yeah.
somebody.
I was years ago. I had a call from the ESPN was coming to town, and they called and said we need to find a herd of longhorns. Okay, to shoot for our open, and I said, well, good luck. You might find one or two in a pasture, but a whole herd, I don't think so.
Yeah.
So how Bevo would come down? I guess they just load them into a trailer and
They have handlers, so they have the special
Texas
handlers that come
Cowboys.
down. I mean, we actually had the longhorn down. I guess it was like 90. What year did I graduate? Like 97 or so. And so we had him down, but that was the last time.
well, if he gets loose, what? Yeah.
That's what the handlers are for. That's their job, Yeah. But
Well,
he's pretty docile.
we look forward to seeing the. Do you have a name for the boat yet?
We don't. There is a naming opportunity. If anybody's got some big money, they can come and talk to me. But
The
we have
HEB
until
Research
October.
Festival.
It could be.
Okay, go hit up old
Charles Butt.
Charles Butt.
He's
yeah.
one of our founding members of our advisory council. But
He owns the lighthouse down
yeah,
here.
he actually gifted us a really nice endowed chair. So that's when we pay for a faculty member's salary in perpetuity.
Do you ever see him? Does he come around?
No, I haven't. Yeah.
I don't even know if he comes to the lighthouse anymore. Rick Rickenbach used to tell me he would come there some, but that's been years ago.
Yeah.
I don't get invitations to the lighthouse anymore. When Rick was there, I get to go out there once or twice a year.
But HEB's been really supportive of our work, and the Amos Rehabilitation Keep, where we do all the sea turtles. So yeah, they're a good community partner for us.
Well,
for sure.
how's the keep changed now that Tony Amos is not there?
So it's been going. They had a record number of sea turtle nests.
I saw that.
All along the Texas coast. So I mean, if
By a
there's any
lot.
success story, that is it. You
Yeah.
know, and we still get a lot of calls for turtles that are hooked and by fishing line, and
Right.
so our rescues and rehabilitations are increasing as our seabird
Sure.
rehabilitations. But for the nesting, that's a huge success story.
Well, one of the things that Tony did over for, 20 years or more, he walked the beach all the time and kept an inventory. Is someone still doing that?
Yes, so we still have that. So we have, it's called beach hops. And so that occurs every 8 days, and we do it on Mustang Island right here in Port A, and then also San Jose Island.
Do you
as
ever get
well.
to do that?
No, but I could. I've just been busy.
Be a professional
Yeah.
beach comber.
I know. Yeah.
Tony, I was flying in a news helicopter one time with Tony, and we landed on the beach, and he got out his book, and he said to the pilot, what kind of a helicopter is this? And told him it's Air Special, and he wrote it down in his book. 1049 landed beach marker.
His record keeping. I mean, if there was anybody that loved data, it was Tony. I mean,
What happened to all that stuff?
So a lot of it is at the Briscoe Center. So the University of Texas has the Briscoe Center that holds a lot of archives, and so a lot of his stuff is up there at the Briscoe Center. Yeah.
That's cool.
Tony's, I did about a 3-hour interview with him for Channel 3 right before he passed away. So I started in the beginning, went all the way through.
He was an amazing
So
man.
they still have it somewhere in the archives at KIII. I don't know if they ever use it for anything, but he was kind of a catalyst. Even when I was living outside of town, I would come down a couple of times a year and do stories with him. The English accent was good TV. I mean, you know. So
yeah, but he was a wonderful person, and he really helped teach people about the environment and able to appreciate it as well.
So the research, so the animal keep, the Ark, you do birds and turtles.
Birds and sea turtles, and those are our primary.
So you guys take in cold stunners.
Oh yes. So wintertime is always a big time. When we had Winter Storm Uri, we had closer to 800 turtles. Yeah, and we were redoing our auditorium where the Patton Center is.
Yeah.
And so we had 800 turtles inside the building, and it was the
I bet
whole
that
auditorium
smelled-
was.
I bet that smelled terrific.
Well, we were redoing it so it was all concrete.
Okay,
you know what
there
I
you
mean?
go, yeah.
And then we just shoveled it off. We can't do that. They're not allowed
Excellent.
in there anymore.
We have the Sea Life Center down at our end, and now the aquarium's getting into the.
Yeah, and all those organizations work really well together and partner together, and so it takes a team for it.
Do
It
you
takes us
guys
all.
have? You find you got Kent Ridley's come nesting up.
Yes.
up here as
yeah.
well?
So those are the ones that has the record number of
Yeah.
of nesting seasons are the kids.
I get those reports from Donna Shaver, and it seemed like it was like 200
Stunning.
or 300 more this year.
Yes.
Well,
It's like the word got out.
Sally, we appreciate you jumping on. We'll have to
My
have you back
pleasure.
on the show, especially next time we're up in this part of the woods. And we're going to take a quick break. Island Moon Live will return.
You can hear the customers in the background.
Right, I know. Got the ambiance going.
Last week we were sitting down there under docks, and all of a sudden, music started coming through the headsets, and couldn't figure out what the heck was going on. And there was a guy in a boat going down the intercoastal,
Jamming Ella Langley.
and he
as
had it
loud
turned
as
up
you
to
could ever
11, man.
imagine. It was hilarious.
Oh, the Texas song.
Yeah. It was funny. It's like, what? Because I kept looking at the board and I was like, no, nothing's playing. And then
Well,
he
we get-
turned the corner and you could hear the speakers kind of change, like it shifted on the boat. It was like, that's that guy. Like,
Man,
whoa.
I live in the Packery Channel neighborhood, and you can hear boats from my house. I'm like 3 streets in.
Really?
Yeah, it's.
So
they're
you're
so
over off of
loud.
Vertimore, over
Yes.
in that area.
Yeah, I'm on Sand Dollar. I'm in the old Snoopy house.
Oh, okay. They're trying to get Ernie's house. Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, that's the highest point on the island.
It is.
That thing, if we have a big storm, that'll be the only house left.
I know.
Ernie built it.
Everybody
The
can come
walls
on.
are 20 feet thick or something
Yeah.
at some point.
Yeah, it's amazing.
We have Ernie on when he's in town. Ernie's a traveling man now.
Yeah.
Summer Place is another one that's really got like a nuclear bunker on the inside. Really hot.
Yeah.
Well, they're trying to get Sand Dollar. It's what's been on our list of projects, trying to get it
Cut all the way
paved
through.
through, and it looks like it thought it was done, and now there's no. It was going to be on the bonds.
Yeah, that's
So
why
now
my
it's-
husband's on the I'm Slack or whatever it's called, and he said it in that.
ISAC.
Yeah.
I was just at their meeting on Tuesday.
Yeah.
We can't have them on the island now because the Gulf Stream building got hit by a tornado that tore the roof off. So we're
Yeah.
having them in the Bluff now.
Crazy. Okay. You free
good?
to stick around? You good?
How much do you need me for?
No, we're all
Oh.
set. Yeah. I don't know if there was anything else that you needed to get
No,
to. You
I'm good.
You all set?
Yes, I do
Excellent.
have not a birthday party, but I have a friend with a birthday.
There you go.
Well, thank you for being
Well,
here.
Yeah, thanks
My
again.
pleasure.
My dad once
Nice to see you. Well,
got to sit next to Tony Amos, and my dad's deaf, and so they ended up starting to write back and
Thank
forth.
you.
And he sat there for quite a bit of time writing back and forth with my dad.
Really?
And not a lot of people will go through that. But Tony, my dad was like, man, he's a really nice guy. And I said, yeah, he runs this down. I gave him the background on him. He was like, well, yeah, it's
Ronnie?
neat.
That's cool.
Unless. Yeah.
Yeah. You want to jump on in, Ronnie?
Oh, sorry.
You gonna play us out of the break?
Yeah, use that to play us back in.
I don't know what to play, dude. I wasn't prepared. A lot of my stuff's not radio friendly, you know.
And just do a few. Just do a little. Just
instrumental,
music.
just
Yeah,
drum solo,
instrumental,
yeah.
and then we'll come back.
All right. And welcome aboard. You were here on Island Moon Live. That was our buddy Ty Dietz playing us back in. We've got him live and in studio right now. We're up here at Shorty's.
So I mean, Ty will be here
Hanging
Sunday
out.
night, every Sunday night.
Every Sunday night for the rest of my life.
For your standing gig. If you want to come check that out, that would be awesome. We appreciate that because you know when you're here at Shorty's, it's all about looking good. And if you want to make your impact and look good, you need to go talk to Ted at Impact Marketing. He's downtown off of 423 Schatzel Street. You can give him a shout at 887-9300 or just go to impactmarketingcc.com where you can see all of the great stuff they do. Screen printing, embroidery, you need technology with your logo on it. You've got an event or a team building exercise or a family reunion coming up. Do people still do family reunions? I don't know. You need to bring that back and go talk with Ted. He can get you all set up and looking good. ImpactMarketingCC.com. Tell him you heard about it on Island Moon Live. We are rocking here up at Shorty's. And Dale, we kind of jumped all over the place.
Yeah.
We've got a lot of things going on. If you want to follow along with a bunch of the stuff we're talking about, you can just go to islandmoon.com where issue 1146 is up.
Yeah, we've got the our. I
Or is it 64?
printed a
64.
put a letter in this week. Our Padre Island Property Association is still pushing for a floodgate, so they've asked the city to fund it. And then I heard yesterday that the city, it looks like, is going to is willing to put in some vinyl bags. I think they are under their city
Yeah.
bridges to
The
block the water flow at crucial times.
Yeah, so the whole thing that they were looking into is replacing the old Seagate that was built when 80s? When was it?
Late in the 70s, late
Okay.
60s, when the island was first developed. But it was, someone told me the other day they saw it closed. I didn't think it was ever closed.
Yeah, I don't think it was ever actually used, but
So-
it was built and sitting there and then ended up getting taken out. And for the amount of money and the use case and the positioning on what they can do, you could get what are called geotubes. They're basically just big nylon tubes that you pump sand and water into. The water leaks out and the sand fills it up, and boom, it's like instant concrete. And then you can reduce it back to nothing, move it, easily without having to have anything permanently installed or worry about, metals or
Right.
anything steel infrastructure out,
Right. And
the canal.
it also sounds like the city is willing to put in some flow meters at the bridges to
Mm-hmm.
measure the water flow as it goes through the canals. We just had the Commodore's Canal sand plug removed a couple of weeks ago, so we have water flowing through there. We're still waiting for the removal of the one at Lake Padre, but it'll come sooner or later. So now we're moving to the next phase where the question is, what do you do to monitor the water flow, protect the bulkheads, and that's kind of where we are right now. So there's a letter from the POA addressing that we published this time in the Moon. You can read it for yourself. I didn't do a story. I just published the letter. And we also have those just south of the Port Aransas city limits line. We have a new access road going in.
Yes, a new way get to the beach, coming in just south of Port Royal. It's in Corpus City proper, right?
Yeah.
So the line is just north of there in Port Royal.
Just south of Port Royal, yeah.
Okay.
I've been working on a story along those lines. There was a race to annexed Port Royal in 2000 because they paid a little over $1 million in hotel occupancy tax every year.
So
So
Port A
Port
went
Aransas-
south and Corpus went north.
Yes, and there is a story about a thrown drink at a reception. I wasn't there, so it got rather ugly at the end. And the idea was what we were told at the time is that they wanted the hotel occupancy tax to build what became the American Bank Center downtown, and then the hot tax would come back to the island for promotion. But that is yet to happen. So we're still. There's about out of $24 million in hotel occupancy tax in Corpus Christi every year, about 3.5–4 million of that comes from the area between Packery Channel and the Port Aransas city limits. So, and you'll notice most of those businesses list themselves in Port Aransas, even though they're in
Corpus
Corpus
technical.
Christi side of
I
the
guess
line.
Corpus proper, but
because the Port Aransas has more of a statewide and nationwide brand than Corpus Christi does typically.
yeah,
That
we're
Keith-
kind of known for different things, especially recently.
Yeah. Well, Keith McMullen tells a story about being at some event in Dallas, and someone made mention of Corpus Christi, and the person from Dallas said, "Oh yeah, that's right next to Port Aransas," and that's kind of the way it is.
Yeah.
Port Aransas has a giant brand all over all over the country.
Yep. The official beach of the Cowboys.
Yeah. So we mentioned in the first hour we have Gary P. Nunn at the Sip Yard tonight. Who else you guys got coming up in the next few weeks?
I have John Wolf will be playing next Friday. Weeks after that, I the Beachtoberfest that we got coming up in partnership with the Chamber of Commerce here in Port Aransas with tribute bands for the 5 weeks. We also will have Brooke Graham's Beach Bash, which was voted the Festival of the Year by Texas Radio last year.
Really?
We'll be
That's cool.
hosting that in October as well.
October is the month to come. For anybody
is.
who's listening to us in the Hill Country
And it's always been
generation, but there are a lot of singer-songwriters that came from that genesis, from the
Oh, yeah.
Austin music scene in the 70s and even Corpus in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
You had a couple of places here.
And just the way those guys did everything, the way they did it, it was about the music, not the money, and that there was something romantic about that,
Yeah.
It was it's just appealing, and it's it's just organic.
When did you start first playing Port Aransas?
I started playing Port Aransas here, the old location of Shorty's. I would say 2012.
Wow.
Yeah.
I know we had you at Giggity's as well.
Yeah, Giggity's, and Shorty's. That's. I mean, every once in a while I'll do a one-off somewhere around here, but I pretty much stay pretty loyal here.
Well, I'll tell you what, if you want to listen to a little Ty Dietz, just stay tuned. He's going to play us back in from the next break. Island Moon Live will return, everybody. Hold fast. Yeah, I looked down and was like, hey, we're at 10 minutes. I was like,
How long is the break?
as long as we need.
Oh yeah, we're recording. We're
Yeah.
not live.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
people are watching on YouTube, so.
Oh, they are.
Yeah.
Oh, man, I would
You
have.
can take off?
Sat up straight.
Yeah.
I'll see you next Wednesday, if not.
I wouldn't have been picking my
It's
nose.
not
see you
that
later.
many people watching on YouTube, but
I
they're
wouldn't-
all our friends and we love you all.
You
Yeah.
could have told me that. Sorry about the nose pick.
Yeah. I do that too. That's how people know it's live and
I'm gonna hit the restroom. real quick.
you run it. Cool.
Just leave that stand there, and I'll get it when I come back. Come back in town.
Take it, dude. Sure, yeah. We'll figure it out, man. Don't leave your shit there for me.
I'm gonna hit the road, man. Hey, good to see you guys.
Billy, thanks.
All right, Billy. Thanks for being here, man.
Take it easy, Billy. Always good to see you, my friend. Yeah, you got it, man.
All right, I'll see you. If I don't see you before, I'll see you Wednesday. I just got a text from Tyler, the bottom of a swimming pool in Cal Allen.
Yeah, I saw that.
Well, she's a sleeping giant, and I'm a loaded gun. the hammer back in the morning sun. Well, it's a vicious cycle. We always come undone. But we can stitch it up when the time comes.
All right, what do we want to do next?
Says your late night
We got 2 more segments.
driving me crazy.
3. That was, well, yeah, 2.
What do you want to talk about, Edwin?
Tide crying through cocaine come downs in your whiskey bottle blue.
Hey, that is time.
She says I gotta change, I gotta do it soon.
What?
Well, in my mind I change phases of the moon, and I feel the rain. It's falling down like tears, 'cause it's a crying shame we let ourselves get here. She says your late night living is running me ragged, and it's damn sure killing you.
Anybody you're mad at, Edwin? You want to yell at on the radio? No. We'll let them have it, man. Come on. Yeah, Lee, you know exactly who you want to go after.
Oh yeah, I got a list.
Well, those that I'm mad at already know.
That's funny.
We fight these battles.
You guys have an election here in May? When do you have your city elections?
It's May typically, but I can't even remember if anything ran contested. A lot of times here you end up with uncontested races.
Yeah. I don't think
Yeah.
there was a contested one this
Either they're good with them or not.
Yeah. You get 17 people voting.
Yeah.
So,
We'll have 17 people running for mayor or for
Yeah.
at-large council probably when the dust settles.
That's a lot of people.
Yeah. And they had a thing on the agenda a couple weeks ago. They were going to raise the pay to minimum wage for council members,
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
it didn't go anywhere.
So that's an unpaid position, or
They pay, I think it's like $6,000 or
Pay for-
$6,500 a year.
yeah, sometime in
It'll
your
pay for your
yeah.
gas to
is that
City
a
Hall.
Yeah.
is that a full-time job, or
It's not listed that way, but when you talk to the people who do the job,
If you're doing it right, it's a full-time
It-
job.
if-
but-
the-
yeah.
at the base, it's 20 hours a week.
Yeah.
Not counting the council meetings, which tend now to go a whole day. So
Yeah.
you're looking at 20 hours a week of when you got to go to events, and then you got budget briefings and all that kind of stuff.
I've always been to think, pay people for their time. They probably should be paid more than that. They're giving up a whole lot.
When
yeah.
you don't pay, you limit the pool of people who can do it. And people have to be independently wealthy or really poor
Yeah.
and not care.
You ready, Ty?
Yeah.
Bring it on back. Welcome aboard Island Moon Live. We are here at Shorty's, hanging out with a bunch of our friends. It was a nice little ride coming up here, and I was looking at my truck, and I was like, man, maybe it's time to get into something new. I need to talk to my buddy Frank at Discount Motor Company. He's right there off of 6601 SPID, right there between Turner's and the movie theater. He does fleet vehicles, man. You need that F-250 diesel. You need a new 4x4, something you're looking for. Go check out Discount Motor Company. He also wants to buy that old car or truck. Get that thing out of the way, man. Go take it to Frank at Discount Motor Company. Go talk to Frank the bank. He'll pay you $500 more than that big box store across the street, and you actually get to talk to a real person. So go over to Discount Motor Company. Tell him you heard about it on Island Moon Live.
We haven't seen Frank in a while. We need to get him back on the radio show.
It's been, I know, it has been a while. I think you had another little one, so that's good. So congratulations to them. I think so. I believe
Oh,
so.
man.
Dill Rankin, editor-publisher of the Island Moon. We got Edwin, the Shorty's owner. You almost mixed my words up there, falling down. Ty Dietz, who played us in, of course. We've got Lee from the Sip Yard. My name is Jacob Oggs. And we've been kind of chatting in the break on and off about music and kind of things that are going on.
We're celebrating our last big tourist weekend before the final blast for Labor Day. As the kids are getting ready to go back to school, this is going to be a heavy traffic weekend here on both ends of the island.
I used to really enjoy as soon as the kids would go back to school because the lineup would really thin out, and then it was just the people. Like I'd go surf in the morning, and then it was all the guys who would surf before work and then have to get back in. And then you could go in the middle of the day, a lunch break and stuff, and then you had a couple other people out, and then all of a sudden at 3 o'clock, here come all the Groms, you know.
And I just had a note from our friend Tyler, who's apparently is at the bottom of a dry swimming pool somewhere in Cal-Allen. I'm not sure what the story is there, but it sounds like he's probably a sweating fellow about
Foundations and bulkheads.
And then we heard from Ted Mandel up in the Mile High City, are some of our usual suspects who are not here. One of the things that's been going on that's the Port Aransas related and as well as Padre is the price of the beach parking permit stickers. And there's going to be we had a story in this week's Moon. It came up on it's going from $12 to $20, and it came up on the consent agenda at the last council meeting, and it was removed from that and then almost voted down 5-4. It was a kind of a weird thing the way that it happened.
The people who were against it, I didn't really understand why.
Me either, especially since it's been to the council twice before, and they were okay with it. Then it was on the consent agenda. I assumed that it was just it was a formality.
Yeah, well, and I know Jay in his article, you can go read at islandmoon.com. He even talked about beach parking fees up in Galveston.
Yeah,
and kind of areas
more
north.
expensive than we are.
Yeah. Well, and the other thing is the option. Okay, people mentioned let's do something for the locals and then different tourists. Well, you can't. That's kind of a discrimination.
The state law doesn't allow that.
And then the other thing was it's interesting enough splitting up the money for the beach parking passes already.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, where all this started, and this has kind of gotten lost in the ground clutter. About 2 or 3 years ago, Port Aransas, the way the system works right now is you sell the beach parking permits, all that money goes into the city of Corpus Christi, and then they remit it back to Nueces County, which gets 16%, I believe, and then the city of Corpus Christi gives the money back out according to the number of linear feet that each one of the cities is managing. Port Aransas was selling about 60% of the stickers, but was not getting 60% of the money because of the way it's been done with linear feet.
Yeah.
So now they're going to a system where you keep what you sell.
Well, and a lot of that is because the beach maintenance, the cleaning, they'll take the sargassum off, the trash management, the, porta potties and all that stuff.
And you also have, we were talking earlier about the new beach access road that's going in just south of the city limits sign on the Corpus Christi side. There's some beach in there that's going to need some renourishment. Port Aransas has got some beaches that the Texas General Land Office has said need to be renourished. That all comes with cost. And we've been at a $12 beach parking sticker since 2002. And the money's just not covering the expenses. So that's where this is all going. There's now a 2-cent state sales or hotel occupancy tax that also comes back. So now they're saying that they're expecting that beach parking sales will raise about $2.5 million next year, which is about $700,000 or $800,000 more than what it's doing at $12. So it's going back to the Corpus Christi City Council on next Tuesday. I looked at the agenda, and it is once again on the consent agenda. So unless a council member pulls it off of there, it should be approved and go through, and then it comes back to the Port Aransas City Council and the Nueces County Commission, which have already approved the increase, but they have to take a final vote, and then it'll take effect in January of next year. So you'll start seeing. It doesn't make any sense to have more than one sticker or different prices. That's just not going to work.
Keep it simple. There's government involved.
So that's kind of
For
where
$20,
we are.
that's pretty cheap entertainment.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's a year.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
$20 bucks a year.
And speaking of a
What?
deal,
Yeah.
Edwin, you were saying before, and for all our friends who are interested in coming in, hanging out in Port, hey, you found how many hotels under $100?
9 hotels tonight under $100.
9 hotels tonight under $100.
That's surprising.
You can find a great deal almost any night of the year in Port Aransas. Come in, midweek or whatnot. It's a great time to come in, especially this time of year, September, October. We call it adulting season. And the kids are gone, and you just come and have a great time. It's a great time to come down.
Well, you were in business here. You had Giggity's and Shorty's before Harvey hit. How's running a business in Port Aransas changed since 2017 when Harvey came through?
So, prior to the hurricane, you had a lot of older housing that wasn't going to get rented into, a short-term rental. So there was a lot of long-term housing here that was affordable. So when, we hadn't had a hurricane in like 40 years, and that's not normal.
Right.
So when that hurricane came through, it really changed the dynamic of Port Aransas. A lot of that older long-term housing was gone. And prior to that, you had a lot of people that lived here. Kind of the same thing happened in the French Quarter in New Orleans, where all the short-term rentals moved in. All the service industry that used to live in the French Quarter because nobody else wanted to live there,
Right.
that all got pushed out. And so the business has kind of changed there. And so we have a little less local population here. It's kind of, and I won't say less, but the demographic of it has changed. And so
I think the population might have dropped a little. It seems permanent residents.
it's hard to tell. Sometimes,
Yeah.
I feel like there's more people here, and then, sometimes I feel like there's less. I think in the off season you have less people coming to take care of their houses. I can definitely see that because we would see that at Cody's. People would come in, hey Edwin, I'm here, fix my shutters, and
Right. So you have a growth in the service industry that repairs the houses and the service industry that cleans the houses.
they come from somewhere else. They'll come in for the day and then, head back. We catch them at lunch or whatnot. Sometimes you get them in the evenings, but there's a lot of people who perform services here on the island, and they come from Aransas Pass and they come from Flower Bluff.
Well, and I know they have the that apartment complex towards the
Palladium.
kind of interested town, and I think that was set up with kind of trying to capture that demographic. Do you think there's going to be more of that to come, or what?
I know the city long term has some ideas of how to. They've got some land further south, but they have to work through a couple of things, try maybe a land swap with somebody or whatnot. But we definitely could use more long term housing. And, I thought after the hurricane, if you went to the condos on 11th Street and said, hey, hold up before you rebuild, we'll give you favorable setback to go up if we can get some long-term units out of it. And I
Right.
think that would have been very easily
Right.
done. But, hindsight's 20/20. But, eventually we're going to run out of land here. And
Well, one of the things that we've said that I've noticed since Harvey is you're talking about 11th Street. That area has probably changed more than any part of Port Aransas since Harvey.
well, it's changed a lot since I got here. It used to be you got down towards the end of that road and there was nothing. And the road was horrible because the gophers would tunnel under the road, and then the road would collapse. And
You
I
didn't
used
have
to
to worry about speeders.
Yeah, I rode my bike down that road, and that was a rough stretch to go down. And even across from Cody's now, they're developing that little spot. And, back when I first got here, that was a sand road that came out in front of Cody's, the end of Station Street, and you were just hoping somebody wasn't coming while you were going through there, especially when it was dry.
Right.
And Port Aransas changed a lot in 30 years.
When were you on the city council here?
I came off in 2017, earlier that May. So 2010 or
So you're on there for
2011.
three
6 years.
terms?
3 terms, 6 years.
And what was the main challenge that you had back then? You guys were short-term rental was just coming in about that time, weren't they?
Well, they had been here prior to that. You had, and I'm trying to remember, you had the HUDs, CUDs, PUDs. You had the Cinnamon Shores of how they were planning some of their stuff. And we were talking about short-term rentals in Port Aransas. And how that differs in North Padre is you have a homeowners association.
Right.
And they can dictate the rules in the homeowners association, just like we have here, Channel View over here, or
Right.
I think it's Channel View, Channel Vista. So they can dictate no, long-term rentals. But lots of these other places, they were just houses built, and they weren't built in a homeowners association.
Right.
And
Tell you what, we're going to jump to a quick break, but we shall return more with Edwin.
We do it through city zoning. If you're RS6, which is most of the island, no short-term rental.
So if we do that now, they'll constitute that as a taking, and they're all going to want to get paid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once you got short-term rental, you don't go back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's you. That's exactly what it is.
I-
You're taking.
I bought the house based on making revenue for renting it out.
Yeah.
Now in New Orleans, however they did it, they did ban short-term rentals in the quarter. And
They did.
They did. I don't know how they went about it. Now the quarter is a whole different animal because you have the Vucare Commission, and I was staying there for Mardi Gras one time. I was at the Dauphine Orleans Hotel. I was staying above the bar. It was room 111. I love that room.
Yeah.
And we wake up, and at like 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock in the morning, all hell breaks loose. They're beating the hell out of the damn roof. And I'm like, what the hell? Did they decide to do the damn roof? And Mardi Gras? And it was loud. It was brutal. And of course, I'm up till like 4 or 5 in the morning partying all night.
Yeah.
And then so I go down and I go, what the hell? Why did y'all decide to do, change a roof during Mardi Gras? And they were like, hey, so we had some rain last night and it leaked through the roof.
Oh.
And at this point, they still had tarps up there. But since it's a emergency, no have to go through Vucare Commission.
Yeah.
No have to go through Historical Commission. Emergency repair. So
Get it
as
done.
soon as that happened, pictures, tear that shit off and redo it as fast as we can.
I got there.
So
Hilarious.
as soon as they got the felt down, they stopped beating on the roof, thank God.
Well, I stayed
9
at the,
minutes. Last one. Y'all ready?
Yeah.
All right. Ty Dietz, ladies and gentlemen. It's almost like he's sitting here playing at home at Shorty's. But thanks for joining us, buddy.
You can hear the crowd in the background. Shorty's is coming to life.
Good
Yes.
to be here. Oh, yeah.
Lee Harper from the Shipyard. My name is Jacob Oggs, Dale Rankin, and Edwin Meyer, the owner of Shorty's. And we were kind of talking before the break about short-term rentals. It's something that on our end of the island we've definitely gone back and forth about. And I know Galveston has been completely changed their demographic just because of it.
Yeah.
But it's something that's always kind of been here with Port A, right?
It has. I mean, like I said before, people would come down and, they'd spend enough time here. They'd say, hey, why don't we buy a house?
Yeah.
And that was really when I first moved here. Short-term rental wasn't really a thing. Everybody really stayed in the hotels, and so it slowly. And you didn't really have a focal point to sell those rentals. You didn't have VRBO or any online mechanism. If you were looking for a place here, you were probably looking in the newspaper or something. Somebody was running an ad, hey, rent the house weekly, $500 a week, and that was the thing back then. Today, it's as simple as register and put it online, and somebody can find you.
Sure. What's it like to deal with the city government here in Port Aransas as a business owner? Is it easy to get? Is the process to get building permits and that sort of thing streamlined here?
I think it's, I think they're fair. You want them to be as, how should I put it? I termed it here a while back. You want them to be as firm as they need to be,
Yeah.
and
But
as
not a
flexible
nuisance.
as they can be. And so, I think they're fair. I think they do, there are things that we have to do. And, I think, sometimes in Corpus it's a little more rigorous.
Yeah.
I've heard stories where the first inspector shows up and says, hey, everything's great, fix these 2 things. And then the next guy shows up and goes, hey, you fixed those 2 things, but I need you to fix these other 2 things.
Right.
And 5 inspectors later, you're still working on things. And
Right.
so I don't think you have that same, issue here. We try to have, some understanding people that, hey, people want to build a house, and, guide them through the, proper ways to do that. And I think you have a
Getting
lot of
city approval shouldn't be the hardest and most time-consuming part of building a house.
or even building a business. I know somebody's going through some tough stuff right now in Corpus, and
Well, when you were on the council, if I remember right, was when the ban on alcohol on the beach was put in after 6 o'clock, right?
Yes.
What's been the long-term effect of that?
well, that was during spring break.
only
And
during
so
spring
only
break?
during spring break. So they,
Did it work the way it was designed?
for the most part, spring break is even bigger than what it was back then. I think some
Yeah.
of the unintended consequences is putting beach access. There were a couple of things out of that. Is there's more access.
Yeah.
And there's more ground to cover now.
Yeah.
Instead of not having, you might have a problem down at 62. Well, now you're going to have problems because there are lots of people there now.
Right.
The other thing is that my girlfriend likes taking her dogs down the beach. So now when she drives down the beach, there's not that. Used to be able to get down farther
You
south.
can find a spot.
Little
There would
open,
be just
breathing
nobody
room.
down there,
Yeah.
and it was beach to yourself. Well, as they put these access roads in, that beach to yourself starts to disappear.
Right.
And I think that's one of the
Well,
unintended
that's what we're going to
consequences.
see. The access road that's going in now and on the Corpus end, there's 7.8 miles of beach in there that even in the big holidays, there's not very many people there. Now there's going to be an access road.
And
You're going to see a
there's
lot more people there.
there's give and take in providing more access.
Well, and during 4th of July, around that time, we had some family come in. My wife and I grabbed the kids in, and it's like, well, we'll go brave the crowds to go see our cousins that are in town.
Right.
And there were so many people on the beach, we didn't get cell service.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, you can tell at my house how long it takes for my internet on my phone to boot up. I can tell how busy
Yeah.
the island is. I was at the ISAC meeting this past week, and Darren Gurley, who's the head of the beach maintenance department for the city, said in all the time that he's been working here, July 4th is the busiest he's ever seen our beaches. I put the number in there. I think they sold 1,100 beach permit
Yeah.
stickers in that one single day. And so I was out there that day, and it's the most crowded I've ever seen the beaches in North Padre. You couldn't have gotten any more people
Yeah, it was
on the beach.
2,427 parking permits sold over that weekend.
And that's just at the beach. That's not at Stripes.
Yeah, and 1188 sold in a day.
Yeah,
That's a lot.
And
Yeah.
so, I would imagine I would not be surprised if Port Aransas sold that many
Yeah.
on this end the same day. So
We sell a lot of beach parking.
Yeah.
A lot.
And you're just at this point. One of the things I've noticed in Port Aransas is the beach will fill up south of the bollards. People avoid the bollards until the beach everywhere else is full.
Well, I think the bollards serve its purpose. If you have young kids and you're worried about them running around, because there's more traffic as you go south.
Yeah.
That's a great place to set up. If you want to throw a frisbee, it provides for an open area on the beach where everybody else is parked, packed in next to each other. Hard to throw a frisbee, hard to do some of those outdoor activities things that you want to
Yeah.
do.
Well,
play some badminton or volleyball.
I remember back in the day, people would throw, horseshoes and washers were big, and then we just switched to having to throw washers because kids would run across. Nothing like almost taking a kid out with a horseshoe to wake you up to stay like, oh man, yeah.
Well, you're talking about spring break. Every year, spring break, I go down and take pictures down south of Beach Lodge, where the bollards, that's where most of the spring breakers go. And for many years, the spring breakers would sort of form a scrum. They would get a little. And this year, I noticed they would get together, and then when the police officers would start to show up, they would move. Always before, you had the kids surrounded by the law enforcement.
Well, I think what they were trying to do is make those crowds smaller.
Yeah.
Because it's you get a lot of people packed into a small area. It's hard to manage.
Things happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and it's not like an auditorium where you can pre-position officers and security in different
Right.
places like that. You have this really kind of ebb and flow moving crowd.
It's a dynamic environment.
Yeah, it's
And once it gets out, and all it takes is one firecracker sometimes.
and
Things go sideways.
we had a few incidents, and we have a few incidents every year. There's no doubt, but I think overall, the police department here and the different agencies that are out there providing, policing services. I think they do a great job. And it is a very changing dynamic. There's a lot of different stuff going on.
Yeah.
And I think they send the state police in, and they go out there and they try to do their best, and everybody tries to do their best. We don't want to put you don't want to stop spring break. You don't want to stop people from coming down and experiencing the beach.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
so
Make it
You're
the,
going to
the,
get a
we
new
just want
city
to try and
manager.
make it safe.
the safest, most fun,
You're going to get a new city manager here at Port Aransas now.
That's going to be something different.
You going to apply?
Oh, no. No.
Awesome. Well, thanks again, Edwin, for having us here. We're doing our broadcast live from Shorty's in Port Aransas. Ty Deeds, Lee Harper. Thank you to Sally Palmer from UTMSI for joining us. Ronnie Narmore, Dale Rankin. My name is Jacob Boggs. Ty, I'll tell you what. You want to play us out?
Come and see Ty here on
Well.
Sunday night.
All right. Take it away.
Get me on social media, Tide Eats Music or Tide Eats Fishing. That was Lee's phone, by the way.
Sorry about that, guys.
Beautiful.
We usually have Kim Irwin on with us. She didn't make it this morning, but she's got a place in the French Quarter, about 2 doors down from Preservation Hall.
I know a couple people that have places there. And so across the street from Preservation Hall is Boondock Saints, and that's one of my stops.
So, yeah.
And then they used to have Alibaba's. They had great pizza, great wings. They knew I was, they treat me like a local because I'd come in there so much. And
Yeah.
we talk, how's business and all this. And then during COVID, they ended up getting closed out. Hadn't seen those guys since.
Well, is the dungeon still open?
Dungeon's still there. So the dungeon transformed into 3 different things. Used to be just the dungeon.
Yeah.
Then they split it up into 3 places. You have Toulouse Dive Bar, you have Molly's, and then you have the dungeon.
Okay. The dungeon opened at midnight. Jan used to live down there. We lived she lived on Dolphin, right?
Yep.
Just down south of St. Pete. No, not St. Pete. It was right around the corner from Preservation Hall because people would always, in the morning,
Yeah.
they'd throw up those hurricanes.
That area is. It used to be pretty rough back then.
It was. She worked at.
Now it's pretty good. They
she
finally
worked
got
at
some stuff.
was it Channel 6?